What's up, guys? It's Mr. Fit to Flourish with First Team Investing. Today, I wanted to talk about our stocks and coffee for the week. So, what's coming up in the week in the stock market? So, this is the week of New Year. So, our new year, we're going into 2025 after an amazing year of 2024. So, we always like to start off with a quote. So, today's quote is: "Your life is a reflection of how you spend your time. How you spend your time is based on your self-concept." Your self-concept is a reflection of your internal dialogue, and your internal dialogue is created by the content that you consume. So going into 2025, you need to focus your awareness on the things that you do that make you feel good, who you are being, what things you are doing that make you proud of yourself, and then what you can let go of doing that is holding you back. Okay, cut it off. Just cut it off. Forget about these things, all right? And we have the best team in the world, resources in our Discord. I've been getting a lot of questions about the Discord. I leave a link in the description of all my videos, so feel free to check it out if you want to join the Discord. But if you feel like you're getting enough on YouTube, stick to YouTube. Nobody cares. All right, so more to come. We have a ton more to come in our Discord. We have mastermind set up. We've been doing classes every single day. We did our options trading masterclass today, December 29th, 2024. And let's take a look at our week in review. So in the Discord, we call that NVIDIA calls, QQQ puts, IWM puts, and IWM calls. We kind of stuck to IWM, QQQ, and NVIDIA and SPY the past 2 weeks. Absolutely just milking those plays because of the end of year volatility, which yields opportunity. All right. So in terms of earnings, there's nothing to report from this past week. There's not going to be any earnings until the week of January 7th, really. So nothing to look out for in that sense. In terms of economic data, the U.S. initial jobless claims came in at 219,000. The forecast was 224K. So this is pretty much just showing us that we have a strong labor market, okay? And this is holding up the markets. So prior to recessions, claims typically will rise. And the fact that claims are falling in current trends is a good indicator that, hey, if you're watching a YouTuber and they're like, oh, the recession's here, it's coming, they're just clickbaiting you. They're clickbaiting you, all right? So it's all cap. All right. In terms of related news and buzz, so the market is going to be closing at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday for New Year's Eve, 12/31/2024, and then 1/1/2025. So the first day for January 1st, 2025, the market is closed. So that's Wednesday. Okay. So don't be looking to trade. All right. Don't be looking for any videos because market's closed. S&P 500, is it curling over? Is this it? So the S&P hit a high of 608. Or the SPY actually hit a high of 608. Currently trading at about 595. So just watch that level between 590 and 595. A break below 590 this week and a hold below that would be pretty concerning for a pretty big downward move. Okay, but it looks like we might be holding and then creating new highs pretty soon. In terms of Bitcoin, Bitcoin's consolidating at the $95,000 level after hitting highs around 108,000. NVIDIA is talking about unveiling a new gen GB3 AI server platform at GTC 2025, March 17th to the 20th. So look out for the 3 to 4 weeks before March 17th to the 20th. We'll probably see a run up in anticipation of this event. So it's kind of going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing, or it might be a buy the rumor, NVIDIA unveils something ridiculous and buy more. Okay, but we'll see what happens. But there's going to be a host of upgrades, including now the Blackwell Ultra Series GPUs, which is 1.5 times the improvement on current GPUs. Okay, this is insane, pretty insane. Now, AMD, what's going on with AMD? AMD has been kind of running up from that $118 low that we hit this past week. AMD is actually rumored to be launching new CPUs and GPUs in early 2025. So they are kind of behind the ball when it comes to chip stocks like NVIDIA, and a couple of these other chip plays. Okay, so they're a little behind the 8 ball, but at these lows, the price is pretty satisfying for investors to pick up. Okay, and then in terms of MSTR actually acquired 5,262 more Bitcoin at an average cost of $106,000. So once it hit the highs, MSTR was like, oh, let's take advantage of this. So they funded that purchase by a sale of 1.3 million shares. Okay, so that's how they funded that purchase. So this is a pretty big deal because MSTR is continuing to position themselves as the the company with the largest Bitcoin holding in the world. So this could set them up for massive success, or if Bitcoin all of a sudden dies, this can be a massive failure. But it seems like a pretty smart move, as Bitcoin is turning into the currency, the cryptocurrency of the world. Now, the FOMC median forecast shows a 50 basis point rate cuts in 2025 to 3.9. So this means that we'll probably only have 1 to 2 rate cuts next year, is what the Fed was saying. And that's kind of why the market tanked 2 weeks ago. But there's new data and new outlook that shows that the Fed is going to be forced to do at least 4 cuts due to global interest rate collapses. Okay, so the European Central Bank is already looking at doing 4 to 5 cuts in 2025. So consensus is going to be, hey, we need to get these rates down quick in order to get a hold on inflation. Okay, so S&P 500 year to date, it's up 25%. The Nasdaq year to date is up 31%. These numbers are huge. Okay, the S&P returns an average of 11% over 10 years. 25% in a year is insane. Okay, it's pretty insane. So IWM year to date 12%, and then Bitcoin year to date 123%. Okay, pretty insane. In terms of PLTR created a double top at the $80 level. However, it's broken above that level, and it's currently still in the strong upward trend. It keeps having higher and higher closes, and Jim Cramer is actually calling for it to go to $100. Now, you know that there is something called the inverse Cramer effect, where whatever Jim Cramer says, the opposite always happens. But in this case, this might be one of the ones where he's actually telling the truth. All right, a look ahead this week. So again, no significant earnings until January 7th, 2025. And in terms of economic data, the only thing that we're really going to see this week is jobless claims. Okay, so initial jobless claims. And when it comes to the Fed making rate decisions and the markets moving, what we want to see is we want to see initial jobless claims coming in lower and lower. We want to see PCE, personal consumption expenditure, coming in lower as well. Okay, so we're looking at those two numbers for the Fed. We're looking at PCE and we're looking at initial jobless claims. So on these days, expect a lot of volatility. In terms of the watch list, I'm looking at Tesla, I'm looking at IWM, PLTR, SPY, AMD, and Quantum. Quantum is exploding. From last week's video, RGTI was at $9.37. It's currently up 88%. Okay, it's up to $17 currently. So keep that on the lookout. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, where I talk about the week to come and what's to come the next days and days to come and stocks I'm watching, just drop a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. That YouTube-y stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and growth.